How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Jose, aka TheNYCGeek, aka TNG, aka your Elden Lord, yours, even the Yellowstone's Elden Lord, aka the guy who doesn't take, well, any joy in having to deliver this news, but to be honest, that's a lie. That's a lie. I do take joy. I take great joy, in fact, because it only further serves to show that there is, believe it or not, hope on the horizon. There is. That a major wake-up call might be in order to some of these massive studios that think you could just take these properties, continually keep serving up a shit sandwich, and that people are going to keep coming back for more. And that is the case with Wanda Maximoff 2, The Multiverse of Garbage, as it suffers a huge, huge box office drop in its second weekend. Now let's make it clear. Let's be honest. There was never a universe where Doctor Strange 2 was not going to do well in its opening weekend. It's not. There was no universe. As bad as the movie was, it just had way too many things going for it, none of which were established by its own virtues. First off, it was riding in the slipstream of the massive success, both critically and financially, that was Spider-Man No Way Home. That movie gave Marvel Studios a much needed second breath in 2021, which, if you remember, I talked about in my older video last year. It shaped out that year. 2021 was a disastrous year for Marvel Studios. They lost money on Shang-Chi. They lost money on Black Widow. They lost money on the Eternals. Wow, did they lose money on the Eternals? And Spider-Man No Way Home was kind of like a breath of fresh air and helped Marvel Studios, even though, again, that wasn't a Marvel Studios property. That was a Sony property. It helped it kind of recover, stagger back almost. And you know, it wasn't even just a disaster for them on the big screen. It was a disaster as well on the small screens. Their Disney Plus shows were not pulling in the eyeballs they needed. People were going to tune into Doctor Strange 2 because they were like, oh shit, hey, Spider-Man was awesome. Let's check this one out because it has the wizard guy from that Spidey movie. So thanks in part to Spider-Man 2, that was going to be a plus for Doctor Strange. Spider-Man 2, did I say Spider-Man 2? I'm sorry. Spider-Man No Way Home. Thanks in part to Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, there's a plus already on the list for it. Then you have the directorial return of Sam Raimi, one of the visionaries who helped pave the way for there to even be a Marvel Cinematic Universe when he helmed the original Spider-Man trilogy back in the early 2000s, which, by the way, Marvel fans, don't ever get it fucking twisted. Yes, Iron Man technically launched the MCU, but that bucket of bolts did it on the shoulders of the titans that were Blade in 1998, X-Men back in 2000, and Spider-Man in 2002. Okay? As you know Blade. Remember Blade? You know, the first actual Black Marvel superhero movie, first one. And, you know, it wasn't Black Panther, and it was Blade. And if you really want to be honest, before Blade, if you want to get technical and go beyond Marvel, you had Spawn in 1997. I think it was 97. And you had Meteor Man before that. But, you know, going back to Sam Raimi, this was his comeback in over a decade to directing. The man's a legend, and that added even more hype to Doctor Strange 2. So there's your second factor. Then you had the leaked cameos, and I air quote leaked because I truly believe that the studio themselves, that they dropped it. They were like, shit, we need something. And remember, these leaks, they were added into the movie late in production. The original product, if you can believe it, was even worse than this one. This movie supposedly had almost 80% of it done in reshoots. Those cameos that were so disrespectfully treated, they clearly were afterthoughts that just put in so that they could be, quote, leaked again and drum up some more buzz for this wet fart for a film. And I mean, for fuck's sake, Elizabeth Olsen just did an interview that she has never even met. I can't remember his name, John Krasinski, the guy from The Office. I'm not a fan of The Office, but the actor who played Mr. Fantastic, they were in the same scene, and she never even met him because, again, this was all aftershoot. This was all reshoots and all afterthoughts and all of it. So that was the third. That was the third big major factor for Doctor Strange. Sprinkle in a few other things, without a doubt. Elizabeth Olsen's acting, Benedict Cumberbatch's acting, the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch has killed the role previously. Not in this. It's not his fault. Not his fault. Let me emphasize, it's not his fault. But in his previous outings as Doctor Strange, killed it. He killed it. You had all these things sprinkled in, and you were guaranteed a great opening weekend. No doubt. A success. But then word of mouth started to spread, and people start talking about how this movie is not a Doctor Strange sequel, but a piss poor finale to WandaVision, that they have no idea where they're going in terms of an overarching plot, and that the properties that they so haphazardly introduced are in peril of being mishandled by the same bungling idiots in charge of Marvel Studios. That they have a massive villain problem. I've said it before. How are you not gonna focus? A superhero property needs a villain. You gotta have that. And you have the lady who was in charge of WandaVision saying that the fucking villain was Grief. What? No. Oh, the house that the MCU built is having its foundation chipped away bit by bit. And the sad thing is, it's not even externally. It's not external problem. Well, I mean, outside of the comic industry itself. I'm talking about the cinematic universe, the movies. If we're talking about the comics, those got destroyed a long time ago. And that's why manga has been destroying the American comic book industry. Even here in the American market, comics don't even rank in the top 10 anymore. But the MCU is getting chipped away, and it's not externally, because the DC extended universe is in much of shambles. God knows they have their own fucking problems. Fucking Amber Heard and Ezra Miller are still on their cast, and you have Flashpoint is in production hell. It's just, and a bunch of their movies are standalone films, so it's not even like it's the DC extended universe that's coming in and whooping Marvel's ass. It's Marvel themselves, their own mismanagement, their own decisions to promote ideologies first, and instead of telling a damn good story, which it should be, you tell the damn good story, and then you can talk about the message. You can talk about these things as you tell a good story. That is the byproduct of it. You tell a great story, and then people listen, and they're like, oh shit, their minds might be open. Like, oh shit, okay, cool. No, they want to hit you on the fucking nose with it so obviously, and it's just so eye rolling, so fucking cringe. And that's what Marvel Studios is now. It's just fucking cringe. And this is its second weekend. This is its second fucking weekend. The next one is gonna be even worse. And on the horizon for Doctor Strange, Top Gun Maverick, which is a movie I never cared about. Top Gun as a kid in the 80s, and I really don't care about it as an adult now. But Top Gun Maverick will claim the #1 spot the week it releases. There's no fucking chance for Doctor Strange against Top Gun Maverick. If they were competing against each other head to head in opening weekends, then yes, I would put my money on Doctor Strange. But even in its second weekend, I would have said Top Gun would take it. Let alone after the third, yeah, there's no chance for Doctor Strange after that. And I will actually go see Top Gun Maverick. I will put my money into Top Gun Maverick just to further, my fucking whatever, $15 or whatever much tickets are nowadays, $18. I'll put that as a small, even if it's a small little stab against Marvel Studios. I'll do that. I will. I will vote with my dollars. So And again, there is no way that this movie is not going to recoup its costs. Let's put it, this isn't Shang-Chi, this isn't Black Widow, this isn't the Eternals. It will recoup its costs. It already has. It's already grossed $688 million. Okay, lowballing, even if you lowball the production cost, which I think, you know, around 200 million is lowballing it. I would probably estimate 250, but let's say you lowball it to 200 million, marketing at an easy 100 million, that's $300 million, and that's a target goal of 600 million to recoup their cost. They're already at 688. And of course, this isn't even taking into account the cost of reshoots and the sort, but let's just say, hey, it needed to hit the 600. It's already at the 688. It's already 88 million above. But if you think that Marvel Studios isn't looking at that number as anything but a disappointment, you're kidding yourself. They were hoping for another No Way Home. They were looking to crest that $1 billion mark. And this movie does not have the legs to do so. It doesn't. Oh, but to quote the great Stan Lee, there is hope, true believers. There is. This is, like I said, this is a good sign. It's a wake-up call that the real fans just have to bunker down, like I said in my previous video, to not give these studios that don't give a shit about you your hard-earned money, to voice your disappointment. That's the key. That's what's helping. That's the only way the regular customers will know that Marvel is spitting in their faces and that they, the customer, deserve better. And hopefully, once all these studios start realizing that you need to stop using our beloved properties to serve as your platform to deliver your message because you're too unoriginal and talentless to ever create something on your own without having to piggyback off the success of others. Once these companies start getting that, maybe, just maybe, we'll start getting quality products again. Just maybe we'll have a Halo TV series that is about the video games that they're based off, instead of having an armor and helmetless Master Chief boning a freaking Covenant spy in a story that's CW levels of terrible. Just maybe we'll have a Star Trek series that builds upon its lore that has spanned for decades, instead of destroying the canon and neutering one of the most terrifying villains in sci-fi, the Borg, to make them pathetic shells of what they once were, and now they want to join the Federation and they'll ask for permission before they assimilate. Just maybe, we'll see Amazon's Rings of Power be the disaster that all signs are pointing to, and Tolkien's legacy won't be tarnished by that pile of shit. It's not Tolkien's fault, it's none of that. But hopefully that pile of shit just lands on the Tolkien legacy and it slides off. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it slides off. Because like I said before, things are going to be worse before they get better. But let's take Doctor Strange's second weekend as a hopeful sign of change on the horizon. Because that's what we need. To voice our pleasure, to voice our displeasure, and hopefully we'll see a change. This has been the NYC Geek. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit it right now. Unless you're subbed, then don't hit it, please. Also, while you're at it, please consider hitting that like, that share button, that freaking bell so you can know when another video goes live. Leave a comment down below. I love to engage and chat with all of you. What did you think of the second weekend of Doctor Strange? Were you expecting a drop off like this? Are you like me, not cautiously optimistic of Doctor Strange, but that there is going to be change hopefully in the horizon, especially with how bad Moon Knight was received, that now fans are starting to say, yo, no, we don't want this. We want better stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Leave a comment, especially, like I said about these other properties. Tell me about them as well. I love to engage and chat with all of you, every single one of you, even if you disagree. That's what the comment section is for. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow me over on twitch.tv/TheNYCGeek, where I stream on Sundays and Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, as well as on that filthy cesspool that is Twitter. Follow me there too. Remember, everybody, your time is precious. Thank you, seriously, for sharing it with me. And please, 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 especially in these crazy times, take care of each other and stay safe.